Hey everyone, this is Bobby. Welcome back to the channel. So apparently there was no audio recorded to this clip here from my Sam's Club. So I apologize. This is what I got from Sam's Club yesterday. So got some spring mix. It's a huge one. We get it because our tortoise also likes to eat that. Got the Chobani creamer, which is a great deal. You get a huge one for $6 and change, so it's way cheaper than the grocery stores. So it's 52 ounces. So that's a great deal. And I like the sweet cream one. It just goes with coffee and doesn't change the taste. Just like creamer. Got a huge thing of the Parmesan cheese for pasta, things like that. We tried to use the fresh one, but got some Greek yogurt. This is the only huge container that they had of Greek yogurt. I usually just get the non-flavored one from Aldi's, but actually I tried that today, and now that I'm doing the voiceover, and it tastes good. It's definitely, it doesn't taste like the unflavored one because it's got a little sweetness to it, but it was good. They had a deal on this Dunkin' Donut coffee. So originally, I believe it's $21, but it was on a sale, I guess, at Sam's for $15. So that is a great buy because I'm looking at it. How much is it? 45 ounces. So that's a great deal for that much coffee. And of course, it's delicious. Got a huge thing of blueberries to put into the Greek yogurt and a huge thing of strawberries. Both of them looked really fresh. Some organic cane sugar. I usually get it from Sam's. I use it for coffee and it lasts a long time. A big batch of the bananas. And these buffalo style wings, I got them before, I believe for Super Bowl. They're fully cooked. You just cook them in the air fryer. They're really tasty if you just need something in a pinch. So you get 4 pounds of them for something around $12. So that's a great deal. With just me and my husband eating, I think that bag lasted us at least 4 or 5 different times that we ate from it. So we decided to get another one for those days on the weekends when we just don't feel like cooking. And what else? Okay, so the hot dogs, these are the ones that they serve in the cafe. So they're big, so you really only need to eat one. And I believe they come with 12, and it's like $11 and change. So less than $1 a hot dog, and they're beef, so they're not with all those weird different additives in there, that the less expensive hot dogs have. So those were repurchased as well. And what else? We got the mandarins, huge bag here. I send those with my husband sometimes for lunch as well, trying to keep our immune systems up. We got a big old 2-pound 42 slice cheese, which I believe was 7 and change. Then of course these, the golden eggs. They're now $10, $9 and change for 24. So, $5 a dozen, which is still too much for me, but you have to have eggs and some things, so we eat them sparingly. We got some avocados. The cups, they last longer in the refrigerator, of course, than, just your fresh avocados. I believe this is about $7 for 16. Got a regular half and half for the coffee. I think that's 2 and change. This whole total order came to $203, I believe. So not that bad. I come back in a clip or two to show you because I was forgetting things left and right to show you, and my husband had to keep on reminding me. We had just dropped off the grandbaby and we were a little crazy. So got 24 count of bags of peanuts. So you get the honey roasted, regular peanuts, and then cashews. That was $9 and change. My husband was looking at granola bars that's what he usually takes for lunch, and all of them that we were looking at in Sam's had a bioengineered ingredient, which a lot of processed foods do. So we just decided against that and just to do the nuts to make it a little bit more healthy. And then this is something that we found at Food Lion. I think I told you on another video, they had the Yankees and the Braves. So when we went in, this time they had the Yankees and the Cubs, which the Cubs is my husband's team. So we figured we had to have that. So we picked up a bag, each of those. They weren't on sale, unfortunately, like they were the last time that I went. They were $2 a bag, but worth it for the cuteness of it. So that's all the food items, but then, like I said, I do come back to show you just a couple of the other items that my husband reminded me that I forgot to show you guys. And I have no idea what happened to the audio from this clip. Oh well, it's fine. I got to explain everything all over again. So hopefully I was probably talking. Okay. So got 204 paper plates. That's a great deal. I believe it's about $21. It used to be $17 or $18, but you know, things have gone up. So did the paper plates, but we also use those sparingly. Usually I will just wash a dish, but if company comes over or things like that, we do the paper plates. And I believe there may be another thing that I'm going to show you. Just a moment. Okay, I remember what it is. It's going to be the napkins that I'm going to be showing you. So bear with me just a second. Okay, so we got the 1,200 count of napkins. Usually I get them from Aldi, but this seemed like a great deal. There was a whole lot of them. I believe it was less than $10 for it. Maybe $8 and change. So all this stuff here together, plus 2 cases of water, spring water, and then a regular purified water case, came to that 200. Hey guys, happy Monday to everybody. It's the day before tax day. So, yep, there's that. So I wanted to hop on here. I didn't record every single day of me feeding my sourdough just because it's really the same thing. I'm adding 75 grams and 75 grams of flour and then of water. And I haven't had time to make bread. So, I don't know. I know that it's a process and I just haven't started it yet. I need to start it. I think it's done. I just fed it. So, here's what Betty, well, now's probably not a good time to show her because I just fed her, so like the bubbles and stuff, the bubble action and stuff is not there. But she's been doing good, I think. I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to be making bread. I mean, one day this week, I'm just going to try it. What could happen, right? It just wouldn't work, and then we'll try again. So I made some birria from Aldi's, and I'm just putting some of these tortillas on this flat oven here. So I just decided to hop on to just to do a little chat. I'm trying to make my videos shorter, so maybe YouTube will put them on the algorithm. We shall see. So I have a question, a little chat about Easter and church. Well, Easter just because Easter is the next holiday just around the corner, so I'm going to be talking about Easter, but this really can go for really all the time, with churches. So for Easter, we don't really have a so-called home church yet. We've been visiting churches, looking around, but we really haven't found one that, that we want to call home. So being that I'm looking for churches all the time, one second. So being that I'm looking for churches all of the time, I get all kind of churches that are popping up on my Facebook, and here or there, all these churches are posting for Easter and all of that. And they're posting, this one particular church said, bring your family out for Easter. We have a petting zoo and an ice cream truck and Easter characters and all this stuff. And to me, I'm thinking to myself, just personally, and I do understand that it's good to add those little things in there for children to get them excited, little activities and things like that for kids. When I took my children to church, the church that we went to, it was like an old-fashioned type church, and there was no activity, there was nothing fun or, anything like that for the kids. But they learned, they learned that they had to go to church and sit and be quiet and have reverence and listen, all of that. So I'm thinking to myself that, a lot of these bigger, especially the bigger type churches, the mega churches, I feel like they add in all this worldly stuff to make people want to entice people in to go to the church. But then I'm thinking, that's my husband's cuckoo clock. I'm thinking, you shouldn't have to add the world in with Jesus to entice people to go to church. Jesus should be enough. You know what I mean? I mean, Jesus rose again. That's why we celebrate Easter Sunday. So just personally, and this is just personal, so if you feel anything different, comment, let me know. I just feel like, yes, it's great to, to have different things at different times, but now with these new churches with coffee shops and socials and all of this and the whole come as you are type, thing, you see people going to church with Crocs and, just holy jeans and things like that. And I 100% agree with, come as you are. Come in as you are. A lot of people have never been to church before and they may not know. Because the younger generation, I feel like a lot of the younger generation, they may never have, been taught. So you might not know. But my thing is once you know, you do better. And it's led by example. So these parents are taking their children to church in shorts and a tank top. I don't know. It's just not reverent. You know what I mean? You can you don't have to have the fanciest clothes by any means, because I don't have the fanciest clothes. But, you can go to a thrift shop or a Goodwill and get something that will be covering everything to go to church. So, yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about. See if you guys think that churches are just trying to become more worldly to get people to go. And I think that God is enough to make you want to go to church, or, you know what I mean? God is the reason. Jesus is the reason to go to church. All those activities are okay, but at the end of the day, Jesus rising is enough to make you want to go out to church on Easter. So that's just my little chat for today. I hope everybody has a blessed week. Hopefully, we're going to be having some bread bacon soon. If you guys are new, thank you for stopping in. It is a small new channel. I appreciate you coming. If you can leave a comment, that helps. If you can like, that helps. If you can share, that helps. I really appreciate it. God bless everybody this week, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye.